Go into neutral, go from high down to low, back into drive. Now I really have to jump on the accelerator to make it go anywhere because it's in low ratio. You can climb anything in low ratio. Oh, this is boggy. Come on, 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 come on. Oh. Go on, you old girl, you can do it. Perfect. So let's go back into high. Oh, that's gone stiff. I'm doing that right, aren't I? Trying to get your vehicle back into high ratio. That's going to need a bit of a service because, right, finally, yeah, I've got there. That is going to need some attention. Let's remember, Russ has only said that he's asking £4.5 grand for it. £4.5 grand for this.
My only worry is if there's rust hidden under the body, which we'll only discover at the workshop. But at that price, it's probably worth taking the risk. I just hope Elvis agrees with me.
Yeah, I can see you've had fun. You're definitely buying it now. I ain't cleaning that.
Well, listen, your farmer's field is really gnarly. It's really good, a really good test of this vehicle. But there was one thing, though, Ross.
How did I know that was coming?
Well, I went to put it in low ratio because it was really boggy down there. But when it went in, it wouldn't come back out again.
Right.
So the transfer box is going to need a big overhaul.
I weren't aware of that, but yeah, I can well see it.
Well, if you can make the £4.5 grand a little bit keener, I'll have Harry come and pick it up and get it back to my workshop.
4 1/4 and that's it, mate.
Hold out your hand, son. You got a deal. And I'm absolutely over the moon with that. I just bought a Discovery Series 1 with only 16,000 miles on the clock. Blooming brilliant. Thank you.
A couple of days later, and Transport Captain Harry has trailered our new disco to the workshop.
So come on then, let me introduce you to our Series 1 Land Rover Discovery V8 automatic.
Nice, they are good cars. But did you drag it out of a box?
Well, funny enough, yes, I did.
Why is it on a trailer?
Because it hasn't got an MOT yet, but I'll explain that in a minute. But the good news is this Buick-derived V8 engine is mightily strong. It really is. It has got that silky smooth automatic gearbox. The only problem I can find with it is the gear lever between high and low ratio is really stiff.
That's something I can take a look at, but at the moment, I can't look past the headlining. Look at the state of that. I mean, it looks like the sunroof's been leaking, probably for quite a few years. I mean, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
All of that stuff is fixable. I mean, even the door cards, they're burnt as well. Now, let me show you why this will not get an MOT. Right, the biggest issue we have is right there in front of you.
Oh, yeah. There's no way that'll pass an MOT like that.
But I have got some good news. This is a repairable and replaceable panel. I can get this for you. The bits that we can see are little bubbles that have appeared on the roof. They're going to need painting.
All right, well, look, let's get it off and we can have a proper inspection and see what else needs doing.
No worries, mate. Yeah, let's get on with it.
Now, there's no doubt this is a wonderful example of a Series 1 discovery, and I love the fact that it's the V8 version. Thirsty engines like that may well be a dying breed, but their DNA, in various forms, is in everything from Morgans to TVRs. This particular one sounds great and is running really well, so I'm not even thinking about that for now. What I am more concerned about is the state of what lies beneath. This is the moment of truth. How much rust are we going to have to contend with? These chassis rails along here often rust through, but actually here, it looks in really good condition. These outriggers here that support the body from the chassis, again, they often rust, but this is really good. There are one or two little things that need a little attention. Oh, hang on. Oh, hello, that's not so good. OK, so there is some corrosion up here. Oh, dear. Actually, it's quite bad. There's a big rust hole just up here. The problem I've got there, it's so close to the point where the body mounts to the chassis. The only way to repair that is to actually take the body of the car off so I can get to it. I mean, that's actually a pretty substantial job. Mike reckons this Land Rover Discovery 1 Series is the next collectible classic. But he could have lumbered me with a whole load of work fixing some nasty rust issues, so I'm going to have to lift the body off the chassis. Now, this is definitely a big job, and it can feel daunting. The engine is going to remain attached to the chassis down low, whereas the body is going to rise up on the ramp and be taken away. What we want to do is disconnect anything that connects the engine to the body. All we need to do is be sensible about the way that we do that. A top tip here is to take a photo of all the pipes and hoses in their original positions. That way you can make sure that everything goes back where it belongs. These old Discoveries are built on what we call a ladder chassis, where they have these two long steel structures running all the way down the length of the car, connected by these cross members, making it look a little bit like a ladder. In today's world, modern cars are built on something called a monocoque, where the chassis and the car's body are built out of one piece. It does make it safer, and it definitely makes it lighter weight too. The advantage, though, of this is that by disconnecting just 10 bolts around the car, I can separate one half from the other. So now it's time to lift the top off. I'm hoping I've disconnected everything. If not, the lift could tear wires or hoses apart and cause problems which will take a lot of time and money to fix. Just a little bit more, and I think we're good. Right, there we go. Two halves of a car now separated, and that means I can now see exactly what we're working with and just how bad this problem is. And it is quite bad. I mean, it's actually worse than I thought it was. In fact, where on earth has that gone? There you go, that's how bad it is. That's the mount between the chassis and the body, which should have risen up with the body of the car, just like it has on that side, but it's so heavily corroded, it's actually completely come away and stayed on the chassis. I need to get rid of it. Probably just need to buy a new panel for that. Good job Mike's out on his shopping trip. I'll text him to add a bulkhead repair panel to his ever-growing list. I mean, this is turning into a pretty enormous job.